Alright, well, we're gonna try this again. That was a really bizarre issue that I've never seen happen before. But hopefully we are good now. Possibly, maybe. It's looking like we are for the time being. Weird. Anyway, so, as I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted by whatever just happened. Eh, I have a lot of half-finished save files in front of the depths, and I think it would be good to maybe take the time out of my day to work on either completing or improving some of these projects that have never been finished. Because ultimately, I think it would be a better use of my time to try and complete some things I've already started a long time ago than to try and start something new and run into the same issue of having it be half finished. So, without further ado, I guess the big question really is to figure out where we want to start with this. Because, like, well, let's take a look here. So I keep making new profiles, which is not a great thing to be doing, but I keep like taking hiatuses from this game, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start over from scratch because I haven't played in a while. So I'll make a new profile to start over from scratch, which is great and all, except now I have 5 profiles, all full of different things. And let's see, let's just roughly scroll through here real quick. Let's just say that's like 20. And then scroll through here. Let's call that like 30. And then only 3. Maybe about 7. So let's just round everything up to 10. And about 5. So we have almost like 100 different blueprints on here. Of course, that's a little bit of a rough estimation, but we've got a ton of crap on here. And pretty much all of it is either unfinished, or if it is finished, it's not very good. So I don't even know where I want to dig in to this mountain of a project. So I guess maybe we should just start at the top of the list and go through things. But the other thing that's a little bit annoying is that I have duplicates of things, which isn't great. Because I don't want to have duplicates of things. It's like, I'm sure that these 3 things also exist somewhere in this list as well. So I almost feel like we should just go through things in alphabetical order and maybe just, I don't know. But we gotta pick something to start working on. Because obviously this is a project that, if I were to go through with it, would last many a month, which is a whole headache. Like, this is certainly not something that we can get done tonight. So I think we just need to pick something and start working on it. Um, I don't even know where to begin. I think maybe we should start at the bottom and work our way up, because Shifter Brotherhood, Let's Play profile, and Let's Play all don't have a lot of things in it. And I think that can be a decent starting point for us to jump off of things. So let's start in the Shifter Brotherhood profile with some very lovely named things. So I guess we'll just start at the beginning. What is this? Okay, I remember what this is. Me and a friend of mine put this together the day that Steam engines got added to the game, because we wanted to see just what you could do with them and how the parts connect together and all that. So basically, this is just a really big and probably pretty inefficient Steam engine. But it is a Steam engine nonetheless. So good to know what this is. It's something. Let's get rid of that, because that's not really a foundation for us to work off right now when we don't have a lot of time. Actually, you know what I will do? I'm gonna start a spreadsheet. And with that spreadsheet, I can keep track of all of these files we go through and what they are, if we want to retrofit them or not, or if they're just something that deserves to be lost to time forever. And from there we can start making a game plan of things. So let's see here. Let's just put a new spreadsheet together from, well, we'll name it the Great Retrofitting after the stream. Alright. And then, let's see, what was that called? That was called a form of art. Alrighty. Oops, don't want that. Okay. We now at least have a note that says what that is. Hover Mark 2. I don't know why this is Hover Mark 2, because there never was a Hover Mark 1. This seems to me like it doesn't work. When I tried to make it way back when, it didn't work. It seems to still not work now. I also don't entirely remember where things are placed in this. So let's switch it to the important crap view real quick. So we got a tiny little fuel engine in here. Okay, that's fine. Ooh. Well, here's an issue. I don't remember how PIDs work. At all. Do not know. I guess first order of business is let's look at the AI. That is what I want. Yeah, that seems fine. This vehicle does hover. Let's set minimum to like 10 and 10, maybe? I don't know. There. Let's see. Man, I have no idea what I'm going for here. We do not want it to pitch at all. Uh-huh. Oh, what am I getting myself into? Okay. Let's stop poking things for a second. Let's see what happens if we allow it to do things now. Does it even try to work? Oh, it's trying. It's leaning forward a little bit more than I would like, but it is trying. I see. So I think what it needs is some downward thrusters back here. I think that would help. Let's just flonk these down just to see if they do anything. Well, I need it to not be in the water first for it to work. So let's do that. No. Why were you sort of working beforehand, but now you're not? Oh, well now it's sort of working. But now it's going too far back slightly. Of course, none of these things I'm plonking down are final. We're just doing this for the sake of experimenting and see what happens. It is floating. It's floating about 10 meters off the water, which is roughly where we asked it to. But if it could maybe be higher than this, that would actually be kinda cool. Now I have to find the AI again, which is a pain. It's somewhere around here. But then from there we should be able to tell it to go a little higher. So is it under... Yeah. So let's turn this up to like maybe 30 meters and this up to like 20 meters. How does that look? It's working. Chat, I didn't think I'd be able to get this thing to work. I've had this thing saved for such a long time and it would never function, and then I magically just get it working. At least roughly, as like a general concept, it functions. So just for shits and giggles, let's see what happens when we spawn an enemy that we want it to fight. Let's just do the classic thing, spawn a marauder really far away, and see what it does. It's sort of doing what I want it to do. I'm really tickled. It doesn't have any detection equipment. There's an issue. But it's trying. So I guess that's a little issue we need to fix. We need to actually give it detection equipment. That's kind of a big deal. But it shoots, it flies, it actually is functional to some degree. Which it wasn't until literally 5 minutes ago. I'm so tickled that we actually made something work. I mean, of course, the guns don't work, but we can fix that because, again, the issue is just that it doesn't have detection equipment. But we've got it working so far. So let's just get rid of that. That's fine. That's whatever. Because now that's functioning, the next order of business, let's give it detection equipment. Because as you can see, it can't. I mean, I'm just going to really lazily slap some stuff on here. The fact we got it this far is just like, huh? Uh-oh. It's fine. It's whatever. Evidently those pieces weren't important, considering it's still working, apparently. Anyway, let's just slap this with some AI junk real quick. And see what happens. So let's see here. I don't really have any sort of good idea for what needs to go where for this. What I generally try to do is just mirror detection stuff on both sides. So boom, we got a camera. Boom, we have an IR camera. It's only a 90-degree one, but the 360-degree one is a little bit too big. Honestly, I might just put another IR camera on just because I like how it looks. Form over function here, people. That notoriously is a good thing to do. Right? Yeah. So something I can kind of already tell is that this thing has way more RTGs on it than it needs. And it probably has way more thrusters on it. This is probably really inefficient. But that's okay. Because we have something that at least flies. And from there, we can improve upon it. Is this just a single metal block? I think it is. Yes, cool. Wow. I know it's silly and it's dumb, but I'm so kind of tickled and just dumbfounded that this thing suddenly flies. Evidently, they've made a ton of tweaks to the AI to make it more user-friendly, and it's just like, wow. It does work now, huh? Actually, let's change that out for something else. Let's put like a passive radar up here, why not? Seal that back up with some metal. Like, evidently a lot of work needs to be done to make this look nicer and less stupid. But now that we've got this far, we have, like, a foundation to work off of, you know? We can make something happen here. Let's get rid of that. Place it with a 3-meter slope. Get rid of that, and hope nothing important breaks. So that we can get more AI crap crammed in here. For detection purposes. And I guess we can put some gimbal trackers here. And then what else do we want? Maybe some of these. Me placing crap down randomly, just hoping that it's decent. If I just plonk enough detection stuff down on the craft, then surely it will work flawlessly without any issues whatsoever, ever. Yeah. And I can put that metal beam back that was over here for decoration purposes. Which I think I had like this. Yeah. Cool, cool. I'd almost rather just leave that blank though, so that the turret has a little more room to work with. Let's save this. So in theory, it should be able to at least see things now decently. So let's find out. No, that's not what we're looking for. I want to spawn another marauder. See if we can actually hit its shots now decently. It's getting closer to it. Next order of business, though, is these shots aren't doing a whole lot of damage, honestly. Unless they're doing internal stuff. I don't even have a clue what shell type is being used here. But right now it's looking like it's doing a lot of nothing. And mind you, it's shooting at a wooden target. Wooden isn't really like that's weak little baby armor, and it's not really doing much. So we might need to look into using either a different shell type or just rebuilding the guns a bit to make them a little better. But the concept works. That's half the battle. We have a working prototype. And frankly, I'm very happy with that fact alone, if I haven't made it readily apparent. It also wouldn't hurt for it to drive a bit faster. It could use more speed. I mean, it hasn't been hit so far, but generally speed is an air vehicle's best friend, and right now we don't have a lot of speed to work with. We are hitting it though. We're sort of chipping away at it. I also need to limit the rate of fire so that it actually shoots consistently and not doing like these shotgun bursts, because that's kind of unnecessary. There's a lot of work that needs to be done with this, but we've got it at least flying and shooting, which is better than we could say at the start of the stream about this thing. Like, go us. It's also running out of ammo faster than I would like it to. So that's something we need to work on. But it is sort of doing stuff, kind of. Just not very well. I'm kind of curious to see what happens if the Marauder actually hits it, because I think that would basically just be an insta-kill. What I was going for with this was sort of like a paddle gun style hovercraft. And I've sort of accomplished that. It needs tweaking. It needs work. But we've got something going for it here. Like, that is very superficial amounts of damage. Let's see what we can do about the guns. Like, what even are you shooting? What kind of ammo does this use? We can make it smaller gauge, not by much. Oh, wow, we have substantially more recoil absorption than we need, which is good to know. Okay, so it looks like our limit for rate of fire is based on the autoloaders, which is good to know. Let's turn down the rate of fire to, I think it said 180 was the limit. So let's turn it down to like 150 maybe. Just to see how that does. I don't know what any of these stats mean, if any of them are good or not. That should all be fine. So let's just go over to the other one and change it to also have the limited rate of fire. Of 150. And then let's go ahead and see what that does before we start messing around with anything else. Let's load in another Marauder and see how the change in fire rate works for it. Because what I want is for it to, like, just have consistent shots and not be shotgunning like it is. And there we go. It is. That is what I was going for. Slightly more sustained. Does not have the necessary accuracy to shoot this far, though, that's for sure. But it's sort of hitting its shots. The consistent shooting is good. I think we just need to put better ammo in it at this rate. For this caliber, I think that might be the play. So let's see even what kind of ammo it's using, because I have no idea. It should be down here somewhere, I think. There it is. I don't know if this is the kind of ammo it should be using. Hmm. Hmm. Maybe let's go with Ash and see if that does anything. So let's try that and see how that looks. And just see what that does. And then I will clear the clips for both of them so that it loads the new ammo in. And we'll go from there, see how it looks. Fortunately, though, that means we need to wait a little bit for it to actually reload. Oh, okay, it's already fully loaded. Cool beans. So let's see if Hesh does any better. And if not, then I guess we get to cope and see if we might just have to rebuild the gun from scratch and see if we can't make any actually decent guns for it. Can't tell if we're really getting any good internal damage in there. I mean, we've chipped off the outside blocks better. Uh-oh, why are you leaning forward like that? You're not supposed to do that. Weird. I mean, it is still flying, I guess. I wonder if it got hit by something. Oh, and it's about to go in the water. That's a problem. I think that the one of the thrusters might got hit by something. somewhere. Either that or these guns just have way more recoil than before. It should still have plenty of recoil absorption. So I don't know what it was doing there. That was weird. Uh-oh. That's a problem. It's still flying somehow. Not well, but it is flying still. Oh, well, not anymore, it's not. Needless to say, it's very fragile. So it looks like Hash isn't really doing anything. So now we're going to switch to big plan B, which is decrease the number of barrels on the guns and see what sort of output we can do that way. Let's turn it down to like 4 barrels. And the gauge is 95. If we turn it back up to 6, is the gauge still 95? No. Okay. What if we turn it down to 3 barrels? Is it still 95? No. Right? Interesting. Let's go turn the other gun down to 3 barrels as well and see what that does. It's only 76 shots before it has to reload, which isn't great. But hopefully this will be a little bit more viable. Once it finishes loading out. There we go. Alright. Let's see what this can do. Using bigger bullets, trademark. Doesn't seem like they're having too much greater of an effect. I mean, they are a little. Still not as good as I need it to be. Unless Hesh is just better for, like, heavy armored targets, and maybe a Marauder is just not a good thing to be testing it against. I don't know. Let's try it. The success seems limited, though. Because again, it's doing very superficial damage to the front of it. That's kind of it. Let's get rid of that. Let's wait for the guns to reload all the way. And go from there. Let's give a second to get reloaded again. There we go. Let's try it against an Onyx flagship. Ideally, I think the Bastion is the little cheap, tiny one. Just to see what happens if we shoot metal with these shells instead of wood. If it does anything remotely better. Right now it's struggling to hit it all. So I think we need to improve our detection systems on here a bit. Oh. That shot hit us. There's the issue. This thing's actually accurate. Aha. Well, let's load another one, because again, the entire purposes of this is just to test the guns and see if they're any good at this caliber. And it looks like the answer is no. They seem to be doing even less damage against metal than they are to wood. So evidently, Hesh is not the play. But that's okay. We will find something that works. If we slam our head against it for long enough, eventually we will find the magic shell type that does a ton of damage to it. And we can turn this up because I believe we're at 90 degrees instead of 60. But that's still not great stats. So let's try something different. I mean, this might work marginally better, maybe, possibly. I guess let's see what this does. And just see if that does anything. Clear the clips. And clear the clips. Wait for it to reload, and then hopefully we'll have something a little bit more effective. That just goes to show how massive a project that this could spiral into, considering we don't even have our first vehicle anywhere near working order, and we have, you know, nearly 100 to go through. Get this thing sorted out. So let's just hit it with a Marauder. Go from there. See what happens. Do these new shells do anything remotely better? Well, they're actually not doing that bad. This is the most effective we've seen them be so far, at least. I mean, they're still not great, but they're not as bad as the other ones. Like, we're doing damage this time. We need to adjust its flight path big time, though. I don't like this whole fly towards enemy until you're in point-blank range and then turn around. That's not great. Like, this is marginally more effective. We have some hull breaches, it looks like. We're doing marginally more than superficial damage this time around. It still needs a lot of work, though. Like, a lot of work. But we're getting somewhere with this. Fully retrofitting, indeed. I haven't played From the Depths in any sort of serious fashion in over a year. But I had a dream the other night about playing From the Depths. And against my better judgment, I booted the game back up. And now we're just kind of throwing things at a wall. Because I have, you know, way too many saves here. And most of them either don't function or were never completed in the first place. So I figure, you know, instead of trying to build something new, we might as well just dig through things and see what works, see what doesn't. I mean, a lot of my stuff already needed to be remade anyway. But evidently there were some changes that were a good thing, considering this thing never flew up until about 5 minutes after I started the stream. Because they made hovercraft a lot easier and PIDs slightly less a pain. Also, music. I love you. Shut up. This is still not good enough in terms of damage. I'm not going to cave in to just slapping missiles on it quite yet. I can continue to tweak these guns, but right now, not good enough. And fair enough. I mean, I have 700 hours in this game, and I think the furthest I've ever gotten in the campaign was defeating the Onyx Watch. And that was kind of it. I spend a lot of time in the designer, and not a lot of time actually building things that work. I mean, we're getting somewhere with this. I almost wonder if we'd be better off decreasing the barrels anymore. Or just putting more gauge increasers on it, because we can probably get away with that. There's probably room for it somewhere. Because right now I just have a crap ton of cooling vents and a crap ton of recoil absorbers. Because I wanted these guns to have no recoil. Which I accomplished. But also it's really redundant now. We have 23,000 recoil absorption for 300 recoil. I don't think we need this much recoil absorption. And somewhere on here was the amount of cooling we have, which is also way more cooling than we necessarily need. At the same time, that also means we have to start using bigger clips if we get to that. So I don't know if we necessarily want to do that. Like, I want to get this as big as I can get away with using 1 meter clips. We turn it down to 2 barrels. Does it get any bigger? It does, a little bit. Can we still fit it in 1 meter clips? We can. So we're sort of getting somewhere. And it doesn't look as cool as it did when it had 6 barrels. But I think we gotta sacrifice a little bit of form for function here. Have less barrels. You know, what do we do if we just make it have 1 barrel? If we have 1 barrel, do we still fit 1 meter shells? We do. Well, we only fit 8. That's not good enough. Alright, let's go back to 2 barrels. Hold on. There we go. I think this should be a decent compromise. And yeah, I mean, you have a point. I think the main reason I took a break from the game in the first place is just because, like, I've got a full-time job now. And I don't have a lot of time to sit down and build something. Which can be said for a lot of the games I play nowadays. Which is a bad habit. Like, I should commit to something. But it's like, I get home from work, I have an hour to kill before I gotta go to bed and do stuff. So it's like, I could build quarter of a vehicle, or I could go play, like, Rainbow Six Siege for an hour. But, uh-oh. That's the problem. But I had the itch to play it, so we're playing it. And I'm having fun with it, which is good. Once again, we find ourselves with a marginal improvement. I mean, we are making poles and things, but that's not gonna cut it against anything more scary than a Marauder. And let's see, what's the Marauder's resource cost? 41,000 versus Longboulder 50,000. So actually not too big of a difference, but still. This should be a little more overkill for a Marauder than what it actually is. So what we might end up doing is just having to rebuild the guns from scratch. Which is fair enough. Like, we're doing a little bit superficial damage to it. We gotta make the guns gun more. That's pretty much it. The guns gotta gun more. I can't really increase the rate of fire anymore. So, yes, wait a minute. I think if I remember correctly, you might be able to connect. Oh, that's not the way we want that. Hold on. There we go. Am I remembering correctly that you can connect autoloaders to gauge increases? And if I can, additional autoloaders might make life a lot better. Let's find out. Are you connected? are. I see. In that case, let's actually do it over here where these ones are. Actually, no, let's not. Let's do it up here and here. You are not connected. Now you are. Okay. Let's do a little bit of this, you know, as a prank. And we just increase the rate of fire the old-fashioned way by brute forcing it. Surely nothing could go wrong here. I think we can probably get some more sustained rate of fire from that. Let's see. Okay, so now we need more cooling in order to get a higher rate of fire, which can be arranged for. We're making this gun bigger than it was intended to be, but I think we can arrange for what we need to have happen. Just need a way to cram in more cooling vents. Yeah, okay. Let's see how we want to plonk these down on here. Oh. They added more shapes. That makes things easier. How do we want to do this, though? I guess we can do it on the bottom. Let's put that on. So let's do a little bit of four-way cooler. That's right. I think. No, we need a five-way cooler then. We need to go that way. That's right. So here, if we put that in there. Oh, wait. It was supposed to go right here. Oops. Hold on. I'm fixing it. There we go. Yep, that's better. And then we can do a corner piece. like so. And then bang. Suddenly we have more coolers. And now we are limited by the autoloaders. So suddenly, this gun should have substantially higher rate of fire. Yeah, I know the other one doesn't yet, but let's test this one first before we delete the other one and put this down. That is an improvement in the rate of fire. I do like that. Wait, no it's not. I still limited it. Hold on. I think. Maybe? Hold on. I think. Yeah, I have a limit on the fire rate. Let's turn the limit off and see what happens then. Fun things, surely. We need to turn it down a little bit again, but that's an improvement. Guns shoot more faster, more gooder. More bullet per bullet is generally a good thing. I think the reason it's turning around is because it thinks that it is airplane instead of a hovercraft, maybe. Well, that and I just don't really have any necessary thrusters for it to straight. But we're getting somewhere. We're making an improvement. I think we can do even more to this thing to make it even crazier. Because I think the limit is coming from these ammo clips. So, like, let's see here. If I were to take these off entirely, would that affect the limit on the rate of fire at all? No, that actually negatively affected the rate of fire. Good to know. Get rid of that. But it's good to know this is where we're at. I guess let's save this real quick as a sub-object. And then sub object, element 2, gun 1. We do that with. Uh-oh. Placed it the wrong way. Oops. This is fine. Y'all didn't see anything. There we go. And we wait for it to load. And then we see what we can do with it. Such as kill, kill, murder, violence, kill. Seems to be the general trend here. Alright, let's kill something. Can we gun a little more effectively? At long range, not really, no. We're sort of hitting it, but not very well. But that seems like more of an issue with the detection systems than the turrets. I think I officially approve of the improved rate of fire, though. That is definitely something good. We are making improvements here. It is gunning substantially more efficiently. Still not enough to disable the weapon system on here, but we're at least making a lot better progress cracking the shell. We definitely have to do something about its movement, though. Honestly, if we can disable the gun, I would consider that a pretty big win on its own. And like, we're getting pretty close to doing it. And it seems to be doing a pretty decent job of staying loaded as well, which is nice. We've officially opened up the inside of the gun. I mean, the Marauder, once you kill the gun, that's basically just GG. So we've got something going for us here. The next couple of thoughts I'm thinking, it could go for flying a bit higher. I think that would be good. It's a little too close to the water for comfort. I think we've officially killed the gun, though, so that's something. It was not a quick or easy process, but we did do it. Mind you, this is also a vehicle that's more expensive than the Marauder. Having to go through this much work to kill it. So we basically got it taken care of. I definitely would like it to have longer gun runs. So that's something we just need to tweak with the AI. I consider this a win. It's disabled. That's good enough. I guess now, as a little bit of a better test, let's throw it up against something that's a little bit better at fighting back. That's roughly the same material cost. Alright, 55,000. I think. Let's try Jacob's Treehouse, because that's roughly the same size as it in terms of material cost. Of course, it has missiles and bigger guns, though, which is a problem. We are messing it up, but it is also messing us up pretty substantially. Oh, there goes one of the wings. That's not good. I don't even want to know how it's still flying, but it is. It's not shooting, but it is flying. Needless to say, not much luck. I think now what I want to do... I want to do more work to the gun. What I want to do right this second is tweak the AI behaviors a little bit. I think it would be good for it to fly a little bit higher and to also actually pass over the target, since it can shoot down. Oh, not enough processing power. You know, that would explain a lot of the issues we're having with the detection systems. I completely forgot to put more processors on here. Oops. I've identified a small oopsie whoopsie. but that's okay. That can be fixed. You know how we're going to fix that? We're going to just plunk some AI connectors down in here. And with some processing cards, we'll be good. There we go. There we go. Now we should actually be able to hit our shots better, at least, so that's good. Now back to the task at hand. Let's turn the fly height up to like 40 meters. I think that should be a little better. Okay. Let's see what this does. I'll just throw it against a Marauder again to test. Well, now you're not going at all, which isn't great. I mean, you're lighting it up, so that's nice. But you're not going forwards. Believe it or not going forwards is a problem. Let's undo that. Do it again. See if I saved it with... Okay, I did. So let's go back to the AI. So let's just do that and increase the fly height again. And see what it does. Why are you still turning? Huh? Why are you stuck in a circle? You were working fine until the part where you didn't. I wonder if it was trying to roll. That might have been the issue, is it was thinking it was an airplane and trying to roll. It's probably exactly what it was doing. In that case, we need to make more tweaks. Which is fine. We can do that. Of course, can't really do it if it's AI again. Let's see if that does anything. You're stuck flying in a circle again. Why do you keep getting stuck flying in a circle?
Listening. Listening. Form up, moving and out. Fly with fleet. Listening. Moving out.
It's generally going where I tell it to.
Listening. Moving out.
Why are you having such a hard time, though? I don't understand what the deal is. Yeah, it does what I want to do when I'm manually
Listening.
piloting it around.
Moving out.
I don't want to have to be doing that in a battle. Also, I think it's flying lower than it should be.
Moving out. Listening. Moving out. Moving out. Moving out. Moving out. Moving out. Moving out. Moving out.
I'm just not really sure.
Moving out. Listening. Taking control.
What height are you at? Because I don't believe you're at the height I told you to be at. No, you're at 22 meters. I told you to be at 40. Why are you down here? You do it. Well, that seems a little more like it. It's still at the wrong height, but it at least is going the right direction. Why are you just swinging face? I don't understand what the deal is. I'm so confused.
Listening. Listening. Moving out. Moving out. Listening. 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 Listening.
Let's see here. Get rid of these. I don't think they're necessary. Those these. Let's just cheese this a little bit real quick. Wherever repair bots are now. There we go. And now,
Listening.
do pull all repair times 10 speed. And wait for it to
Listening.
get fixed up. There. Let's see if this fixes it at all. Getting rid of the PIDs. Evidently not. Oh crap. Well, let's at least see if it works now. No. So as it turns out, those PIDs we deleted, we still need after all. Good to know. Let's check real quick. Did we save it with the PIDs gone? Yes. Crap. Okay. And now I have to figure out where the PIDs are again. Double crap. There they are. Cool. Well, that's unfortunate. I don't remember what those PIDs were set to that I deleted. Crap. Oh well. For the time being, I think I'm going to call it here for tonight, because I do have work in the morning. But thank you all for tuning in to whatever this was, and I will see you all next time. Good evening.